You've been lied to. You've been told that motivation comes first, that you need it. You need it to begin. That one day you're going to wake up inspired, and then you'll finally apply for that job, start that business, and change your life. That's a myth, and it's a deadly one. Here's the truth. Motivation does not come at the beginning, okay? Motivation comes at the end. Let's think about it. You've been waiting for that burst for years. And has it shown up? No. Why? Because you've been running the sequence backwards all this time. All of this time. The real formula is action creates results. And those results create motivation. You act first. Then you get results. Then motivation shows up every time. Always. And it doesn't matter if the results are good or bad, they're still motivating. All right, let's just give an example. Imagine there's a woman who's stuck in a job that she hates, right? Every night she says, I'll start looking when I feel motivated. I'll start searching for a new job when I feel like, it's really bad here. That'll be my motivation. In other words, I'm gonna let suffering create my motivation. And every night she goes to bed, she's still miserable because she can't stand this job anymore and doesn't want to be there anymore. And that motivation never comes. But one day, one evening, she decides to herself, you know what? Maybe I'm going to update my resume. Because I gave these people a lot of me, and they, aren't really respecting my time. So let me put all of these new accomplishments on my resume. So she does it. And she decides, let me send out these 2 applications. And then, do you know what happened? She got a result. 1 interview. 1. And suddenly, now her brain is waking up. She sends 3 more applications. She's like, okay, I got this 1 interview. Let me send these 3 more applications with this brand new resume that she did with 1 step. She gets 2 more interviews. She shows up to 3 interviews, and guess what the result is? She gets rejected by 1 company, and she gets 2 offers. So now she gets to pick the best offer, and now she has this new job. And it started with that 1 step. If she had not acted, she would still be in the same old terrible job that she hated. This boils down to neuroscience, okay? Neuroscience explains it every time. Your brain is a junkie. Your brain responds to the results. The same way that Pavlov's dog responded to the bell. Every time he rang the bell, he filled the food bowl. It got to the point where he only had to ring the bell, the dog would show up. Sometimes he rang the bell and didn't fill up the food. Every reaction, even a rejection, is feedback. And that feedback triggers dopamine in your brain. Dopamine is the drip of motivation. It's just like when you go to an amusement park. And if you've never been to one, you may not understand this analogy. But at an amusement park, especially like a water park, there's one thing that's the worst part. And the worst part is the lines. To get on the ride, you have to stand in these terrible long-ass lines. They're hot because we go to them in the summer. We go to amusement parks in the summertime. It's hot. You have to stand in front of a person, and then you have somebody standing behind you. The whole time you're on this line, it could be more than an hour. You could be uphill. You could be in the hot ass sun the whole time. Sometimes the line is just as scary as the ride because you're on a giant stairwell going up, because this ride has to be high in order for it to be scary enough. You might be going up hundreds of feet in this line, and the ride is only a minute or 2 minutes. That's how long it takes for you to get from the top of the ride to the bottom again. And when you get up to the top and you finally get your chance to get on the ride, you sit down and you're excited and you're all pumped up because you know it's going to be fun, and you slide down the slide or you go down the roller coaster or whatever it is, and you twist and turn and you see darkness and you see light, and you're scared and you're excited and you're happy. And then you get to the end and you fall into that rushing pool of water, or the car you're in skids into the end of the ride. And what's the first thing you do when you get off that ride? You get back in the line. Why? Why you get back in the line? Because the results created the motivation for you to get back in the line. Look at Beyonce. You think she was motivated to be up until 2 o'clock in the morning rehearsing every night? Probably not. Hell no. That's not fun. That's not the fun side of being, a megastar. But she had to act first. Rehearsals create perfection. Perfection is the result. Perfection. The result of perfection inspires the motivation to rehearse. Again, that's how high performers operate. That's how the successful people in your circle are operating. They're not waiting for motivation to come. They understand that the formula here and the math about it, it's not magic, it's mathematics. The math is action plus motivation, action plus results equal motivation. Your brain is a pattern-seeking machine. Every time you act, it rewires itself to understand it. It says, ooh, new task. What's going to happen? Over time, it craves the cycle. Action, results, motivation. That's why my students at CM Masterclass, they don't wait for the hype of getting something done. My students take steps. They take steps that are part of systems that guide them to results, and that result gives them the motivation to continue the systems. I give them the systems that create results. They learn discipline, they learn processes, and they learn boundaries, the real tools that rewire the brain. So remember this. Motivation never comes first. Stop waiting for her. It's always last. And once you understand that, you'll stop waiting for the perfect moment and you'll start creating the perfect moment. Because motivation is a lying bitch that cannot be trusted. Her ass is always late.